Welcome back to the Brent Daniels Real Estate Live Show. If you love real estate and you love friends, you are in the right place. This is a participation show, and we're going to go real heavy on question and answers today. So I already see incredible people in the chat. Jacob, Brandon, Anonymous, you guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you for already getting into the chat and warming that all up. Let's get into a little bit of real estate. What would you call it? Vocabulary trivia?
Quizlet.
A little quiz. A little quiz just to warm up the show and to give you guys a little bit of extra, I don't know, knowledge or experience or what? Ammo. Or just understand the words that we use, the vocabulary, the language we speak in real estate. That's what I was looking for. So let's throw this up here.
All right.
All right. The first one is this. What is a syndication? I like this.
So I picked stuff that I would have never known.
Okay. What is a syndication? A, it is a real estate crime drama.
I go with A.
It is a group of investors pooling money for a deal. It is, or C, an HOA meeting. Kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
And D, selling multiple houses at once. What is your response, everybody in the chat? Benjamin, great to see you. Fearless and Limitless Life, great to see you. Thank you for joining the chat. What is it, guys? Is it a real estate crime drama, A? Is it B, a group of investors pooling money for a deal? Is it C, an HOA meeting? Or is it D, selling multiple houses at once? Search for Oldies says it is B, group of investors pooling money for a deal.
Come on, guys.
Is that the right answer?
Is it? You want to find out?
Let's find out.
Here we go.
Derek Watts got it.
Bam.
Boom, it is. It's a group of investors pooling money for a deal. What a cool word.
Yeah.
Syndication.
I was going through it. I said, oh, what is that?
Yeah, what is that? Pulling it together, guys. So, you know, you hear a lot of syndications. You see this happen often with multifamily deals or development deals. We've certainly, Raph, you and I have been approached to join unlimited amount of syndications.
Yeah.
Being part of the family mastermind, being a part of, you know, just incredible other, you know, masterminds that we've been in through the last few years. So
They've gotten more and more popular over the last, I want to say, maybe 3 years or so. I mean, it's
well, it was real popular before interest rates went bananas.
Yeah.
Right? Because you pull the money, you go in, you buy a apartment complex, you fix it up, and then you refinance it. And during that time, usually you get your money out of the syndication. So what some syndications do, like Ken McElroy, which is really smart, is they'll find a distressed property, they fix it up, they get the tenants to they get better and new or increase the rent for the tenants, which means that the capital basis goes up, or you make more money per month, which means that you can get a higher valuation on the property, and then you can get higher loans, right?
Nice.
You can get a higher loan amount, and then all the cash you have into it gets replaced. It's like a BRRRR strategy for commercial property.
Was that,
With a
you said that was
value
more
add.
popular back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the interest rates. The interest rates were really nice, and it was a lot easier to make the numbers work. Because if you're getting more money from the tenants and it's costing you less for your monthly mortgage, that spread in there is nice.
Nice.
And that's what, you know, the syndication gets. But also what Ken McElroy does is he keeps you in the deal even when you get your money out.
Ooh.
So you put the money in, you fix up the deal. I mean, you fix up the property, you increase rents, you get a new loan. The loan gets you your money back out, and you go do it again with that same group.
Wait,
Syndication,
kind of
baby.
Syndication.
Syndication. Does that make sense, everybody?
Syndication sounds nice.
Alonzo knows. Oh, Alonzo knows Rafael from Yuma.
Oh, what's
All
up?
right.
Okay.
All right,
Yuma
search for
peeps.
the old-
Alonso, what's going on, bro? Saludos.
Yeah, here we go. Searching for Oldie says, saw a lady buy a building in Irvington, New Jersey, large building using a syndication.
There you
Yeah,
go.
really smart plan. And there's some people that do it really well. but it's usually like a 3 to 5 to 10 year process.
Oh shoot.
So it's patient
Okay.
money,
Yeah,
right?
it's not
it's not now money. This is very patient money. Okay.
Perfect.
Number 2. What do we got?
We got.
Okay. What does HUD stand for? Ooh, HUD. This is interesting. Is it the Housing Utility Department? Is it B, Home Underwriting Division? Is it C, Department of Housing and Urban Development? Or is it D, Housing Union Deal? What does HUD stand for?
Bro, you're killing it with these terms, man.
Thank you, man.
Now-
Thank you.
Us, Raph, that have been in the business a long time, when we hear HUD, what is your initial thought?
Settlement statement.
Settlement statement.
Yeah.
HUD 1, the HUD
Yeah.
1 settlement statement, which is what it used to be called. It was changed, I don't know, maybe a decade or 12 years ago to settlement statement, but it used to be called the HUD 1. So when you hear HUD 1, that's basically the settlement statement. So when you close on a deal, that shows the debit and credits for the buyer, debit and credits for the seller. So this is really showing all of the money that the title company is managing and making sure it's going to the right place and paying off the liens or giving all the proceeds to the buyer,
Also,
the seller.
If you hear somebody say HUD referring to a settlement statement, you know how long they've been in real estate.
They've been doing it a long time. Or they have like parents that. We've got C, Derek Watts has C, Searching for Oldies has C, Tracy Thornton has C, and Jose Tapia has C.
Nice.
That is absolutely right. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Bam.
Department of Housing and Urban Development. Really interesting history with the HUD. HUD's done a really great job. I think it's a really, really good lettered agency that provides a lot of help for people. They
Good.
really do. I mean, it goes back and forth depending on, who's in the White House,
Yeah.
as to what they're looking for. The big thing that HUD's looking at now is they handle Section 8,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And Section 8, they're trying to put term limits on Section 8. It's only 2 years unless you're old or have a disability. I'm interested to see, what do you guys think about that in the chat?
Yeah.
Do you guys think that there should be a time limit? Should it just be, they say it shouldn't be this like foundation, it should be more of a springboard. It should be more of a trampoline. I'm kind of feeling both ways, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if the people that have been in Section 8 for a long time have the skills and abilities to be able to go out there. I think
that's
that
a
they can
tough one.
develop them, certainly.
Yeah.
I just don't know the fairness of it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it should be? Derek says, need it. I
Bill
love
says
it.
no time limit.
What do you think, Raph?
I think it can be a double-sided blade, right? Like,
Yep.
because, like you said, people can develop the skills and go out there and do something bigger. But then if they're too comfortable where they're at, like it's just human nature. It's going to be hard for somebody to move. They're comfortable in that space.
Yeah.
So it depends. I feel on the whatever they end up doing in terms of regulation, in terms of like limits.
Yep.
I feel like that's going to have a big play into it.
I think there's just going to be nuance as to what a disability is.
Yeah. That's
Because I
what,
think
yeah,
that
that's what I'm
there's going to
referring
be some, I have this anxiety, or I have
Yeah.
a mental,
Blockage.
maybe some mental
Self-diagnosis.
issues or
Yeah.
diagnosis that
Yeah.
they can have and be able to stay longer and go through that whole,
Yeah.
song and dance. But it's really interesting. From a citizen's point of view, absolutely not. From an investor's point of view, yes. Okay, good. Should be a time limit of
There you
7
go.
years. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, there's pros and
absolutely
cons
interesting.
for sure.
Lucky seven.
On both sides.
Yep.
It's a very
Okay.
specific number.
Last one for the day, warming it up. What does constructive eviction mean in real estate law? Oh my gosh. What does constructive eviction mean in real estate law? A tenant builds their own exit. B, landlord makes conditions unlivable, forcing tenant to leave. C, tenant is evicted for constructive criticism.
C,
And D,
definitely C.
eviction through written construction plans. Interesting.
Have you guys heard of this one?
Constructive eviction.
Yeah.
I gotta say that's a new one to me.
A, B, C, or D. I mean, I'm going to just.
Thinking A or B?
I'm thinking that I think it's either B or D.
Okay.
And
No
I'm
more
a broker,
softballs
bro.
here.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
constructive eviction. Man, that's interesting.
I think it can be now.
I don't know. I would say B, but D might be in the running here. What do you think, Raph? What do you guys think in the chat? Edwin, you're the best.
No more
TTP,
softballs.
baby. No more
Yeah,
softballs
No
more
for this group.
softballs.
I go
We're
D
taking
on
it to
it.
the next level here, guys.
You said what, Raph?
I go D. I feel like B would create just a lot of
Friction?
well, not friction, but rooms for counter lawsuits and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Constructive eviction, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it A? Oh, definitely C, Tyler says. Tenant is evicted for constructive criticism. Tyler Pugh. Paris Thompson, new Texas law is stopping us residents from cold calling and texting. Let me know about that. I heard it was just texting. I heard you have to register, Paris, but let me know more on that. But Who Am I says D, and Derek says B. So there's a nice mix
like it.
between
I like it.
B and D. What do we got?
What is it?
You ready?
D.
B.
Okay.
Here we
Here we
go.
go.
Watch BC.
It is B.
B.
Yeah.
Landlord makes conditions unlivable, forcing tenants to leave. Really interesting. Great job out there, guys. Tracy, great job. But Derek Watts, great job. Nathan Frost, great job.
Nice,
That is
guys.
absolutely incredible. Good.
Awesome.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Constructive
Never heard of it in my life.
eviction.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make it be a slumlord. Is
Yep.
basically what that
Yeah,
means,
pretty much.
right? That is open to a lot of lawsuits.
Yeah.
A lot of investigations on that. Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. We've got a great group already on here. We've got it open to Instagram.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
No?
We're
We've got
live.
it open on YouTube. And so, guys, make sure that you're putting in your questions. I have a few thoughts here, and this is from a notebook that I took from a mentor of mine in 2015. And I want to read a couple of these just to let our minds start thinking about it, and also kind of like solidifying what it means to be a real estate entrepreneur. Number one is, where is it here? Got it. No, it's back this way. Here it is. Defeating the distractions that keep you from being productive. These keep us from producing. What are some distractions that you guys think that pop up on a daily basis that keep us from being productive? Any thoughts there?
Instagram notifications right out the gate.
Really?
Yeah, I used to have that on the first window of my cell phone, and then notifications on.
Yep.
And it's always like somebody's gonna ask a question, and whatnot, and I know like there's you almost gravitate to them after a while. It becomes a habit to just check off the notification little icon. So turning that thing off was a big production move for me.
Yep.
And then I got rid of it on the first window, and I just pushed it back on the a couple windows back. So that was a big one. It's simple.
Notifications.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just Instagram. It's any kind of
Yeah.
notifications.
Yeah, well, it's to me it was, and you're right. It was that for me because it's where I'm the most active at. But yeah, just moving that, even just pushing it one window over, and turning the notifications on. That way, when you go in there, you're doing something that's actively, it's intentional as opposed to just responding to that little red trigger there. So.
Look at this. Look at this right here. Tyler's doing some work for us in the chat. So Claudio says anything that isn't talking to people is a distraction. Tyler says SB 140 expands definition of telephone solicitation to include transmission of a text or graphic message or of an image intended to induce someone to purchase, rent, claim, or receive an item. This is for Texas texting. Say that 10 times fast.
Texas texting.
Texas texting.
Anonymous, you're absolutely right. Great book on that. The One Thing by Gary Keller. Fantastic book, guys. That is an absolute must-have in your library. And right here, just switching tracks. HB 4063, guys. This is passed into law and effective as of September 1st. This is in Texas and Oregon. This has to do with memorandums, guys. All right. So in these, what this is basically saying is the seller. If you file a memorandum, the seller can remove that memorandum without your permission, but you can also file another piece of paperwork that says that this memorandum is legit, and so it goes into this whole back and forth thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, file a memo, seller says remove the memo, you say don't remove the memo, and then I don't even know who
It's like a
decides
sandwich.
if it's
a
a
memo
legit memo or
sandwich.
not.
Would it go to
My suggestion,
arbitration or
guys,
something?
don't do memos.
Yeah.
Is that, you know what
They've
I mean?
been saying that for a while, yeah.
This is, I mean, this is a controversial take, I think, because we want to protect ourselves, especially if we're giving money up front to a seller that needs, you know, to get their car out of the impound. They need to pay their electricity, their electric bill. They need a bunch of groceries. They need like thousands of dollars up front for something. Typically what you do is just file a memorandum to protect your interests, but I think you should talk to your title company and closing attorneys and say, hey, listen, should I be filing a different lien here that makes more sense on the property if I'm just giving money? And then you would have the seller sign that lien when you do give them the funds.
We used to file memos on anything over $30,000 in spread, just as a default. We started tapering back from them. We did roll in a specific performance clause. My attorney advised that we rolled it into the contract. So we've done that, and I mean, that's what we have in there. But I mean, that way we have some type of recourse, but at the end of the day, it's like doing good business is not going to beat, like nothing beats that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Derek Watts says, starting November 2025, no more memorandums in Oklahoma. Guys, I feel like what happens is there's certain companies in each market that once you blast out a deal, they're going to take that as their lead generation source.
Interesting.
If that is happening, if you're in these areas where you feel like you have to file a memorandum because somebody's going to go and try to backdoor you with the sellers, you send out a deal, they go to the seller, they say, hey, listen, I'll give you more money for this. Whether or not they actually will is a whole different story.
Yeah.
Just close the deal, own the deal, and then sell the deal. And then you're fine. Then nobody can backdoor you, right? This is the takedown method. Takedown method, I do that because that's what Jerry Norton calls it, the takedown method. He's been talking about it for a year and a half. How do we do that? Go talk to the private money lenders in your market. They're everywhere. Just Google it. ChatGPT, who are the best? Pull up
I'm on
ChatGPT and go, who are the best hard money, private money lenders in Phoenix, Arizona to close a deal in 48 hours? We'll see what ChatGPT says.
Also look up bridge funding. I mean, there's a lot of that, you know, everywhere throughout the country. I mean,
Right.
there's so many resources.
What's bridge funding?
I mean, it's basically it's just a private money loan. It's just short term, and it just allows you to come in, close a deal, do a clean transfer, and then own it. Actually, have the rights to
Here we
push
go.
that property over.
Guys, right here. All right. If you're trying to close a deal in 24 hours in Arizona, you'll want a hard money or private money lender known for ultra fast approval and funding. Here are several reputable options that highlight speed and accessibility. Prime Plus Mortgage, Capital Fund One, have used them.
Yep.
Hilton Financial Corporation, Trident Capital Partners, Easy Street Capital, RBI Private Lending. Guys, this is all, look at this. And then look at the breakdown of the lender name, the speed highlights, and the notes. Asset backed, right? That is what we're looking for. We're looking for asset-based lenders. That means that they're not pre-qualifying you, they're pre-qualifying the asset. The asset is your deal. The asset is that property. So go in there, if you haven't already, and go find these money people. They need you. They have to put money out into the streets every single day because whether they have the money on a property or not, they still have to pay their investors a percentage every single month.
Yep. They got to
Every
deploy
single
that
month.
capital.
We talk about it a lot here. Let's see. Takedown method is becoming more and more common these days. Absolutely. It happened to make, that's why I stopped. It happened to me, that's why I stopped. Is searching for oldies. Paris. Received an item, be considered that the seller is receiving a cash offer from an investor. Not sure what that is referring to. Do we know what that's referring to? I think it was maybe to Tyler's, but we're not selling anything. do with what you want with that, but there's legal precedence now. Yeah, certainly. So really interesting. Make sure that you're setting this up. Make sure that you're having really great relationships with investors. Go ahead, Andra.
Someone commented, should I switch markets? He's in Louisiana.
Yeah, so there's a question on should I switch markets because what? It's non-disclosure? It's Louisiana?
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't. I would see what the new rules in the market are, whether you need a license, whether you need to close on the deal, whether you need extreme disclosures, whether you need any of those. Whatever the rules are in your market, I think that the more rules, the more obstacles for other people getting into that market and doing it long term in those markets. Some people might virtually dibble and dabble in there, right? But to build a long-term business in those markets, you need to just follow the regulations, and there's only going to be more.
You know, one mistake that I see often is people jumping to different markets, like from one market to the next, especially in the virtual side, which I mentor a lot of people on that side, right? But jumping from one market to the other, to the other, to the other, just like marketing channels, like one marketing channel to the other, to the other. You have to give it time to work. That's one. But if you find something where you're okay, you can settle, you can plant your stake right there and build a legit business on it. You can bolt on additional markets. Just make sure that you taper into those and you don't go crazy on it and completely shift your business from one day to the next. Right? Roll out a small marketing campaign in whatever market you're curious about because you did some research, and then start working those leads because you're going to build out the network. You're going to figure out how the policies work. You're going to figure out how the title and the processes in that particular state. So there's a lot of nuisances, and I mean now we see it every day, Brent. Right? Like there's different things popping up left and right on new legislation, new policy, new compliance. So I don't think the right move is just to drop whatever market you have right now because you freaked out for a second. It's to really step back, take a closer look, and then bolt on additional marketing strategies on markets that you're interested in.
Anonymous says, there's got to be horror stories on double closes where the B to C falls through and you are stuck with the property you don't want, or am I missing something? You're missing a key part here, Anonymous, and that is a transactional funding company, a transactional funding lender won't wire their funds in until your C buyer, the end buyer, already has their funds in. So title companies, closing attorneys won't do what's called a double escrow. They'll do a double close. And that's where you get the transactional funding. The transactional funder waits to hear from the title company, oh, the funds are in from the other buyer? Great. I'll fund my buyer. Done. C buyer comes in. Boom. Done. I get my money back in a point. Transactional funding is the best.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into it big time.
Quick in and
I just
out.
got to figure out all the...
Intricacies.
Yeah. There's got to be some regulations to it or something.
Yeah.
If you're lending your own money and how
Yeah.
much you can lend and all that. So I'll get that all dialed in. But I've got incredible friends that are already doing it. So I'll be able to figure that out pretty soon. But I think it's so smart.
Be the bank, baby.
Be the bank, baby. That's the end goal on all of this. Be the bank.
I've been saying that for years.
How would you pitch a novation during a 2 to 3 minute phone call?
I don't think that's a 2 or 3 minute phone call.
Right. Alejandra's right. 2 to 5 minute phone call. So Dowdrick, that's cool. Dowdrick, it is, that is a 45-minute call. Yeah, it's a much, much longer call. And that is for a seller that really wants to be hands-off, and they have a property that can qualify for a conventional loan, so it's not completely destroyed like the houses that we work with. The houses that we work with have to be cash. I mean, they're just destroyed. The lenders won't approve the loan when they see it, unless it's like a construction loan, but those you just don't really see too many. And so from a conventional standpoint, a conventional construction, fix-up loan, but beyond that, the properties that will fit a novation are the ones that definitely can get a conventional loan. The sellers want, probably 85% of what it would go for if it was totally fixed up. And so that's, it's a longer conversation. And so you have to see if, hey, listen, why don't you just list it with an agent yourself,
Yeah.
put it on the market, be done with it. Well, I don't want to deal with any of this. Okay. Then you get into more of a novation conversation.
You know, where we've had more success on the innovation pitches is usually when there's got to be some type of value add, right? Yeah, we give them the convenience of dealing with all the headaches and the coordination and all that stuff. But, you know, for example, we've done a couple where cleanup was a thing. It was an issue, it was an issue. It wasn't a rehab or anything. It was just, okay, cool, let's get some, deep cleaning done on the house and declutter it, move all these things from one place to the next, and that gave us the innovation advantage, right? So there's always something else that goes into that. It's not don't think about it as a sales pitch. You're still in problem solving mode.
Nathan asked a great question here. If I'm limited on time and wholesaling 1 to 2 deals a month, would you recommend that I use a transaction coordinating service or hiring a VA? Get a transaction coordination service, for sure.
Absolutely.
Easy REI closings. It's a no-brainer, guys.
They kill it.
Easy REI closings are going to handle a lot of the income servicing, not income producing. Income producing is you having conversations and making offers to property owners. That's income producing. Income servicing is getting it through the finish line and making sure that it gets closed. And so at all times, you need to delegate things that right here, I've got a number 7 in my notes here.
Number 7.
Delegate every non-producing activity. They handle the paperwork. Well, this one is answering the phone, but this is more if you're like in an office setting and you have an assistant that does that for you. And really, the transaction coordination companies really should be kicking you in the butt to get back to just producing.
Yeah.
Go produce. Go do what you actually get paid for, which is dealing with massive amounts of rejection.
Hey.
Yeah.
99% of people will not deal with massive amounts of rejection. They will feel in their brain, that part of our brain that goes, oh, I'm getting kicked out of the tribe. I don't belong now. I'm going to be out there on my own, and nobody's going to help me out, and it feels horrible. The people that can get through the rejection and turn that part of their brain off through exercise, through doing it, through reps, through consistency. Some people just have it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You ever met like somebody in like junior high, high school that's just like talking to everybody and going bananas and doesn't care what people think about him? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Right? That wasn't me. I had to learn it. I had to learn it big time, right? I had to learn how to deal with rejection.
I would have never guessed.
Well, it's a lot. Listen, it's a lot easier to learn how to deal with rejection than being broke.
Amen.
Right?
Pick your problems, right?
Pick it. That's right.
Yeah, and on the transaction coordination note or side, there's a lot of things that happen too when you start stacking deals that your TC is going to be able to get you out of hot water. Sometimes we'll have to reach out and help people with like even payoffs or crazy things like that you don't always foresee. But it becomes one of those. I mean, I've had in the past, before I had an in-house TC, to sit down on the phone for like 2 hours trying to figure out, payoffs from an attorney when we know theoretically the title company is going to do it, but sometimes they don't move on that side. So there's a lot of additional benefits of having a TC support when you have consistent deal flow, and it allows you to stay busy with the income generating stuff. So
Yep.
definitely higher.
Search for Oldie says, I need a mentor, man. This is my 4th try. I've been in real estate 5 years, wholesaled 3 years. All of my closings fell through, even stolen or buyer backed out. 2, I had an end buyer back out last minute. Yeah, it's a lot of adversity. Listen, you can find, I think if you get a mentor that's, like a one-to-many, like we have, Raf, where you're coaching throughout the whole country. It's fantastic. You're going to get the whole blueprint of what you need to do to be successful. But it is critical, guys, to find somebody local that you can connect with that are going to open the doors for you. They're at meetup groups, they're at RIAs, they're in Facebook groups. Go to Facebook right now, go type in real estate investor, and then go to the admins, go to the creator of those groups and see if they're cool. Most of them will not be. I'll be honest. I've reached out to a lot of them, and until you have a reputation, they're going to stiff arm you and kind of be a little bit stingy on some levels. But some could be amazing. Some could really take you under their wing. Some could be like, hey, I'm looking for somebody to join my team, and you get that experience. Doesn't mean that you have to be an employee forever. It just means that you're getting that experience and the guidance. And I think that that really helps. You know, the first dozen deals, I made half of what I should because I was just trying to understand, you know, how to do this business. And the people that I sold those deals to, I still talk to.
Yeah.
They're still good friends. The Imans, the Derricks, the Brian Norris, all those guys. You know, those guys are absolutely phenomenal. So it really helped me out in the beginning. And if I didn't have that, I'll be honest, I was real nervous. Is this a deal or not a deal?
Uncertainty.
Is it a deal right now? Because when I was starting, it was 2013.
Damn.
This is not like this is barely getting out. Yeah, whoa. It was barely getting out of like really, really bad market.
Yeah.
So they had to be crazy smoking hot deals, and I didn't know. I felt like they were hot deals, but they might not have been hot deals.
Yeah.
Turned out they were hot deals.
Ooh.
Because they sold them for a lot more than I
For a
did.
lot more.
But I was fine with it, and I just learned from it. I know you guys mainly wholesale. Oh, great question, Jared. I know you guys mainly wholesale, but how do you decide which ones to occasionally flip and which ones to hold on to? I love that, Jared. I like the properties that were built like 90s or newer. You know, you get into, in Arizona, Arizona really exploded. Phoenix really exploded in the 50s because they invented this thing called air conditioning, right? Before that, there was like nobody. And then in the 50s, it just went bananas. And a lot of the floor plans in the 50s and 60s, you know, they're small bedrooms, small houses, you know, they're just older. So you either have to kind of adjust the floor plan or you have to, you know, put more capital into the infrastructure of the property because the wiring's older, the plumbing's older. You know, it's more of a project. If you have something from the 90s, it's you know, pretty much stuff that's still around now. I mean, there's some advancements, but it's not as much heavy lifting. And I like the ones, the properties built in the 90s because they're in these master plan communities that are very popular and very strong school districts. So I think that's a long way of saying I like flipping properties that are in good school districts.
Yeah.
Because they're always in demand. Raph, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I look at location, of course, but I also look at condition. I don't like heavy lifts when it comes to rehab. I've done, you know, some rehabs where I had to go the extra mile and then some, right, to get it where I thought it should sell. And it's not my cup of tea. Like, I like, you know, quick, easy in and out type of stuff. So to me, it's going to be more of a lipstick type of rehab, which we do come across. Right, but again, it's part of that cherry picking. When you're at the front of the line, you're just seeing the deal yourself. You can select. Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep this one because you know I'm gonna put 20, 30K into it, and it's gonna be gone in a matter of a month and a half or 2 months or something like that.
Yep.
So that's really. I mean, I think about location, the condition, and then how fast am I gonna be able to turn that property without massive headaches.
Yep. I like this question from Rudy. Rudy, are Facebook ads and or PPC campaigns that complicated, or should you always use an agency? Does one work on your own and the other not? Great question, Rudy. That's why I was looking at all the different lead sources that we're looking at. We're looking at Facebook, direct mail, pay-per-click, text, cold calling. All those different lead sources, right? And I was like, what has the biggest moat around it? What has the biggest expertise? And the biggest one that I could find was Google pay-per-click. You really need to know Google. You really need to know their algorithm. You really need to study it every single day. You really need to spend a lot of money to really understand the nuance because things are changing all the time, and Google does a great job of trying to spend your money everywhere right?
Yeah.
That's why I created the pay-per-click agency. Truly, that's why. That and SEO. We're starting to get into SEO. We've brought on somebody that's absolutely phenomenal. I wanted to have a moat because I wanted there to be specialization that I could charge for, that I could have people pay us monthly, and we use our expertise to be able to do that. One, recurring revenue is fantastic. Two, if you are not like all in on it, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. Now, Facebook is totally opposite, Rudy. I think you 100% can understand Facebook. I think that 100% you can run your own account. We do it done with you if you're interested in that. So that's talktopeople.com/Facebook. I highly recommend it. It's $3,500. It'll be the best investment that you've ever made. We teach you how to run it yourself. Now, we can help you with all the creatives.
Yep.
Luke creates the creatives over here on a monthly basis for all the ads. But to be a local expert and to be able to focus locally on a specific area and not have a huge marketing budget and really understand Facebook, I think is the future. I really do. As they're tightening the grips on calling, on texting, on all these things. And I'm not just saying regulation. I'm talking about technology. I'm talking about you can literally turn your iPhone on to not ring any number that you don't have in your phone book.
Which is crazy.
Right? You could just turn it right off. All of the carriers are doing the spam likely or potential
likely.
spam or whatever else, right? And so they're tightening. I think getting into some paid media, getting some inbound leads through Facebook, you're probably looking at a budget of about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. But you could do a lot of damage with that, right?
You can, 100% you can. Especially with if you scroll on Facebook, like 75% of those ads are AI already. Right now. It's insane.
Yep.
And but it looks so good and so real. So yeah, you could do a lot of damage for sure.
Raphael says, did that today, talk to the administrator in a real estate group. Yes, awesome. What company are you using for transaction coordination? REI. Shout out, Jay Stoney says, shout out to David Olds and his team at Easy REI Closings, freaking rock star. They really are. They're really great. So definitely check them out.
They're making it very easy to get into it too. I mean, they started with a few plans that were a little bit on the pricey side, and then they started adjusting all that stuff. So now they have like different tiers where you can jump in. It's not going to cost you a lot to just literally get that headache off your hands. And again, like you said, man, focus on the seller conversations, on income generating activities, the income servicing part. I mean, it's definitely worth a very small portion of that assignment fee.
Jay Stoney, great question. Question for Brent. On a scale of banana pudding to banana smoothie, how you feeling today?
Yeah, I like that.
Feeling pretty pudding?
Ooh.
Feeling pretty thick, to be honest.
Yo, pause.
Know what I'm saying?
No.
That's right. Banana pudding. Oh, man. You guys got to come into our office and see the beautiful wallpaper that Alejandra put in our lobby. It's all bananas. It's awesome. It's like it's the #1 thing people comment about.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, there was one from Jacob here. If you're only doing 1 to 2, 3 deals a month, don't waste your money on REI closing. Speaking from experience, you have a good title agent. They can handle all that for free. Okay, good. There you
There
go.
was a question about that.
What's that?
There was a question about that.
Yeah, I answered that.
Oh, what is your mindset?
Oh, no, sorry. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the one I was looking
Yeah.
for. Question, what is your mindset when it comes to giving the seller some money up front before you close to solve a specific problem? How's the best way to do it? Love the question, Jacob. We want to help out these property owners, right? We want them to just trust us that we're going to be able to get to help them achieve their goals, whatever their goal is. So first, you have to really do that deep discovery, right, Jacob? You have to really figure out what is your goal with the sale. Okay? If it's speed and convenience, they got to work with us on price. If the property's destroyed, they got to work with us on price. If they want to make an illiquid asset liquid fast and get their cash out of it, then they have to work with us on price. When it comes to giving them some money up front, be a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't trust them, if you feel, and listen, there's plenty of sellers that we work with on a yearly basis that call up and fill out forms on websites. They call direct mail. They reach out to all these people to just get money up front and then cancel on the deal. They'll sign something. They'll sign a purchase agreement and then have no interest in selling it. Or even worse, they aren't the seller.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think one, you need to make sure that they show you their ID before you give them any funds, right? We're having people show us their ID when we sign the purchase agreement just to make sure it's the actual owner. Because once you start getting inbound leads, there's going to be scammers out there that are just trying to
prey on those people.
Get money up front, sign a purchase agreement, and they don't live there. They're squatters, or they have you. We have one gal.
Yep.
We have one gal that has tried to sell like 5 houses that she doesn't own. She's got a fake ID. She meets investors at like McDonald's or somewhere else, right? To sign up you can't get into the property right now for whatever reason. Let's just go to McDonald's, we'll sign it up, and then you give me some money up front, right?
She's done that 5 times.
She's tried. Our company, I don't know, a handful of times. But from what, so we at Pioneer Title, they have a fraud department.
Yeah.
And we're a big part of the fraud department to make sure that anything that pops up or any deals that they feel is shady, that they let us know, and then we cancel out, and then we tell other wholesalers and investors that, hey, listen, watch out for these people, right? And so that's
Oh my gosh.
This gal's been trying to sell all these
Is she
properties.
still on the run?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I assume so.
Damn.
I mean, I think she just called like a couple days ago. Yeah, it's crazy.
On that note, as far as releasing funds, I think I take the exact same approach. You got to feel out the person, right? We used to do all kinds of for example, a memorandum would be just automatic default right after that and whatnot. But at the end of the day, if it's a fraudulent seller, you're still gonna have an issue there. So it doesn't hold, right? One, fill them out. 2, we do have a 1-pager that just kind of puts it in writing that we're fronting some type of cash, and I never do big amounts either. It's like $500 to I don't know, expenses and whatever, right? If there's a need for that, where I've done it a couple of times because the deal is a really good deal, we just have it documented as we're doing it. But at the end of the day, there's not a lot that you're going to be able to do to secure yourself. I mean, think of it as a personal loan almost, and it does get tricky. So as far as forcing people, you're still in the same bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed with how the seller acted behind my back after failing to complete the agreement with the other party, who was a wholesaler. I doubt he would be interested. Oh, that's follow up on a property that didn't sell. Yeah. I mean, listen, if you have properties that didn't sell, you should follow up and see what they're doing with it. If their price is too high for it to sell to a cash buyer, see if they put it on the market or recommend them a great real estate agent. If they still can't sell it for what they want, then they don't really want to sell it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want to sell a property, then you look for buyers that are going to give you a qualified offer, which means they're ready, willing, and able to actually buy it, and then you sell it. So remember, the value is determined by the buyer. Value is determined by the buyer. Not by Zillow, not by an appraisal, not by any of those things. It's a ready, willing, and able buyer. I could have an appraisal on a property for $500,000. I could put it on the market for $500,000, and I could get offers at $350,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an appraisal is an opinion. A closed transaction is a fact, and you get to a closed transaction with a ready, willing, and able buyer.
Get that tattoo.
Do we all agree? Chat, do we agree?
Yes.
That's how prices fluctuate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally how they fluctuate. If you have a very low comp sell in the neighborhood, it drops everybody's value. If you have a very high comp sell in the neighborhood, it increases the value. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's the MO.
Listen, Jay Stoney feeling the same here.
Jay Stoney.
Luke, okay? He woke up. Where'd it go? He woke up feeling thick.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Jay Stoney.
Come on,
you
Brent.
wild.
Come on.
How would you condition? Oh no, there was a question about a pre-foreclosure or a probate on the market. There it is. Joel asks, can you wholesale on-market probate properties? What are some challenges, if any, and how can I overcome them? Raph?
I haven't messed around with online or listed probate properties. I mean, I see the process itself being a challenge. I mean, I was just talking about this on the coaching call yesterday. Guys are crushing it with probate leads. There's always going to be a value add. Sometimes people they haven't gone through the probate process yet. They don't know how to tackle it. They don't know how to approach it. They don't know who to go to, right, for the next step. They know it's an attorney, but they don't know which attorney, right? So what I suggest, and this is the exact same thing that we do in all these markets, we go in there, we start building a power team. One of the people in the power team is a probate attorney, and we work out a deal with the probate attorneys, right? For example, like, hey, John, if we bring you a seller who's got a probate property, can you get paid at close of escrow? They say yes, and then we work something out. Now we have something that we can add that we can throw in as a value add for the seller, right? So you're gonna have a seller come to you. You tell them, hey, listen, I'm gonna send you to this probate attorney. You don't have to fork out cash out of pocket. And all you got to do is go through the process with this guy. He's going to walk you through the entire thing, and then we can work on a transaction together, right? But you segment it in a couple different ways, and again, it's value add. That's one of the biggest, I guess, barriers that I've seen to probate properties. And knocking it down just with the relationship that you can build on your end is huge, right? So I think you're going to see that too on the MLS or wherever you go to for that matter.
Yeah, it depends on if it needs court approval.
Yeah.
Right, which just means it's a slower process. I mean, it always needs court approval for the person that's inheriting the property to transfer the ownership, right? It just depends on if the court has to approve any offers as well. Yeah. With a sale. So I would find that out, but just work with the agent. Just work with the agent and see how far along in the probate process they are. Put together an offer that you think's fair and submit it. That's our job.
Yeah.
Put together an offer that makes sense to you and submit it. And if they get higher offers, great. If they counter your offer, great. If they reject your offer, great. But yeah, I mean, if they're selling their property on the market, then make an offer. Shouldn't be any different. Now, I think really the question is, if I make an offer to a property that's in probate, will the agent allow me to assign the deal? Can I put the assignment language or the wholesale buyer language like we have in Arizona in the purchase agreement? And yeah, why not? No, if the agent goes, I don't like wholesalers, I will not allow this to be assigned. If you are trying to assign it, remove that language or don't even submit the offer. Then remove the language, close on the deal, then sell it.
Yeah.
Or fix it up, or keep it, or whatever else. But if it's a great deal, you'll always find the money to be able to buy it, right? Money flows towards great deals. It's an avalanche. It is overwhelming. There is way more funds out there for you than there are deals. There is. Yeah. I mean, it's always ready for you. The whole industry is set up for us. The whole industry is set up that says, hey, listen, if you get a great opportunity, we want to partner with you on it. And we're going to charge you interest for that partnership. That's what it is, right? Awesome. There was another one.
Great chat.
Oh, here it is. How would you condition a pre-foreclosure seller to buy their home as is cash if they want to unrealistically keep the home still? Yeah, first of all, don't condition. There's no conditioning. There's no grooming. There's no manipulation. There's no convincing. There's no anything. There's only giving them options. One option, when you go in there, it's not to go, hey, listen, I'm going to help you do this refinance or help you work with your lender or give you no. Go in as a cash buyer. I will offer you cash for your house. That's what I'll do. Now, if you can do a loan modification, which by the way, guys, 90% of pre-foreclosures go into a loan modification.
Yep.
So we're talking about 10% that either they've done a loan modification, now they're back at it, or they're just head in the sand and they're just not going to mess with it, and they just are done with the property, or they just don't deal with things, right? It's not, maybe it's lazy, but maybe it's just they have other things in their life that they're more focused on, whatever it is. Then with that 10%, make them a cash offer. I don't like going creative where you go, hey, let's do this creative offer and you can stay in the house and you can rent it back and you can do a lease to own until you're back on your feet and then blah, blah, blah. That's where people get in trouble. That's where we're seeing it pop up a lot. We're seeing these lawsuits happen a lot. Private lawsuits and with the different states going after investors that are saying, hey, listen, well, you can stay in your house and blah, 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 blah. And then they just get them they say whatever they can to get them to sign over the deed to them. And then they boot them out and evict them. And that's a big problem. I think that's gross. I think it's a big problem.
That's
and
disgusting.
I think it's a business model that just doesn't work. Can you get properties that way? Yeah. But everything times zero is zero, guys. At some point, whether it be 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, somebody's going to have a problem with it. Somebody's going to have a big problem with it. So my suggestion with any pre-foreclosures is you give them a cash offer. If they take it, great. If not, then, wish them the best of luck. Have them put it on the market with an agent.
We some stats on pre-foreclosures. We're doing. I was doing a lot more of those.
Yep.
And most of the deals came within the first 2 weeks, or 2 weeks from the auction. So everybody goes silent right in the middle of that, right? I mean, not 100%, right? But most of the deals, again, you go in when people are like, they're seeing it. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting hit with this. Their decision making is at a high, right? And then they just kind of settled into it or ignore it for a couple of months, and then towards the end of it, like 2 weeks prior to the actual foreclosure, we'd have conversations with them, and that's usually when we were able to stop the foreclosure, come in, buy the property, do something like that. So follow up on those. I mean, if you use the word conditioning, right? Switch conditioning with follow up. At the end of the day, you have to be in front of them. You're not going to have one conversation with this type of lead and then it's going to close, right? You have to be their go-to person, and they got to know that you've been there from the get-go. So get to them fast, follow up with them, and then wait for those last 2 weeks, and just be clean about your offer. Be transparent about what you're doing for them. It's a cash purchase. You're not offering pie in the sky. You're not going to be able. You're going to have to move out of the property because you're actually buying the property. That type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Be super clean about it, but stay on it. I mean, that's how you get those deals.
Do you think wholesaling will ever become too saturated? I love it, Ramil. We have had this question since 2017. Okay, that question was posed. There's been two repeating themes in real estate. One, market's going to crash. It's going to be worse than 2008, right? Yeah. That's the number one. Oh, it's going to crash. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. That's number one. Number two is what I'm doing in real estate, whether it's wholesaling or flipping or being a real estate agent, is it too saturated? Now, I will give you stats on this. I won't just throw out my opinion here. Yeah. Batch did a study. They spent a tremendous amount on this study to find out how many wholesalers, people that consider themselves wholesalers, there were in the country. In 2021, there was 90,000. They redid it, and in 2023, 2024, one of the years, 20,000. So from 90,000 in 2021 to 20,000 in, let's call it 2024. And I would say now, because of licensing, because of more regulations, because of disclosure, I would say there's probably 12 to 15,000 from its peak at 90,000. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. If you have the skills, if you have the right friends, right, the right mentorship, the right coaching, the right support group, your own personal board of directors. That's what I'm saying. This isn't a pitch for coaching or anything, but your own personal board of directors, your attorney, your escrow agent, your inspector, your contractors, your hard money lender, your mentor or teacher, your buddies that are doing way more than you in this business. All of those things, if you imagine yourself sitting at a beautiful table, maybe it's made of some perfect Italian marble, right? It looks like Zeus created it himself with a thunderbolt, okay? And then you're sitting at this beautiful table and you have these soft, plush leather seats. And there's 7 or 8 seats and you're at the head of this table. Who's sitting in those seats with you? Because if you try to do this business by yourself, you're done. But if you have your personal board of directors around you at this beautiful conference table, of which you lay out your vision for your life, which is basically just goals.
Yeah.
What are my goals and how am I going to accomplish this? And you get to sit there and you get to talk to these people and you get to get the support and you get to get the protection and you get to get that, like, what do they gas you up,
yeah,
right?
Or
the
glaze.
hype man, like the, what would you call that?
Glazing.
Glazing. Your buddy's just glazing you up, bro. You're sitting there. I mean, you're just doing it, right? I mean, that is the mentality that I have. That's literally how I create every business that I have. Is I go, okay, who do I need to have in these seats?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hang out all the time.
Absolutely.
You're in the office down the way.
Yeah.
Mike Mahoney, Jesse Pearson, Nate Freeze, Jesse Champlain. I mean, come on, Alejandra. What are we talking about here? This is the personal board of directors that are around me at all times. Who is it for you? We say it on Wholesale Hotline all the time. Squat up, same thing. Squat up's a little bit softer of a way. It's not a beautiful analogy with a beautiful Italian marble.
Yeah, Italian marble that was made by Zeus.
Table. But I mean, you know, that's who you need. You need to have that around you. In business, in real estate, all those things. You could skip to the front of the line. You can reduce the amount of stupid tax that you pay by trying to just bang your head against the wall until it works. It will work. If you work harder than everybody else, you will win. I watched this awesome video by Alex Hermosi, and he was being interviewed on that Graham Stephan Iced Tea podcast thing. And he goes, you know, why aren't people more successful? And he's like, because people don't really work.
Yeah.
He goes, if you just work and just like enjoy working and just showing up every single day and picking up the phone and doing whatever it takes to make your business successful and stay focused long enough and fall into, he didn't say this, but I will say this. He said it in a different way, but fall in love with the repetitious boredom of being an entrepreneur, especially a real estate entrepreneur, of doing the same thing over and over and blocking out the shiny objects and having the discipline.
Yeah.
You got to exercise it daily. Discipline, exercise it daily, stay focused, build one thing at a time. Because the tough thing is, once you get into it, and all of a sudden you're not ignorant anymore as to how difficult it is to be an entrepreneur, that's when most people quit or change tracks.
That's why you saw 90K to 20K.
Huh?
That's why you saw 90K to 20K.
Right.
That's
that's why everybody fell out of this business.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Jacob has another one. What does the process look like for buying properties with back taxes and liens, bad title? Get rid of the liens, then selling it. Have you ever done one of these before? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Jacob. So property taxes, you're not going to be able to reduce. You're not going to be able to reduce property taxes. Other liens, maybe. You know, I mean, I would stay away from mortgage liens because now you're talking short sale territory and there's a lot of nuance to that. And you really have to prove that, you know, there's hardship and somebody can't afford that mortgage anymore. And it's better for the bank to take a loss now than a loss later. That's a whole mess. But when we're talking about HOA liens, you can negotiate those all day. Florida has crazy code violations liens.
Really?
Florida is right. You should Google and find or maybe we could chat GPT, where has the most aggressive code violation liens or fees, because they start piling on in these vacant properties. We've had people in the Rhino tribe that have negotiated like $500,000 worth of code violation liens that have piled up for years and years and years, and they gave him like $2,500, $3,000. They settled for like $8,000. You know what I mean? You can get those liens negotiated really effectively. Those ones that are just, it's just fees on top of fees and fees. HOA liens are good. The liens, contractor liens, any of the ones that you can negotiate, and it's not with the, property taxes, they're going to stay on there forever. The whole country is built on property taxes. You guys have to understand this. Land tax literally invented our country. That's the big difference between back in the day when there were lords and ladies that had all the land and serfs that worked the land and there was no private ownership. America was like, no way, bro. We're gonna give everybody land, but we'll just tax that land and then we'll put it to all the services, right? All the 6 S's. We'll pull that up on ChatGPT next. But here we go. What is this? Cities with notoriously high code enforcement fines. Lantana. I don't even know what that is. Oakland Park, okay. Dundalin.
That's Florida.
DeBerry, okay. Yeah, look at this. People, $135,000 in fines for overgrown native garden plants.
That's crazy to me.
He negotiated it down to $1,250.
What?
It says right there.
That's crazy.
Yep. I'm telling you, look at this. Fort Myers. Yeah, exactly. A private lot owner racked up $220,000 in fines for renting parking spaces without a permit. Well, that's a whole different thing. He was being silly. You better get the permitted, but you can negotiate those liens really, really, really effectively. Yeah, effective negotiations and communications keeps the world revolving. It sure does. Jacksonville, Florida, for sure. Anywhere in Florida,
Shout
it
out to
seems like they
Jaguars.
have really, really, really strong HOA. Will you pull up the 6 S's for property taxes? These are the 6 S's that your property taxes go to. I'll see if I can say it off the top of my head. Services, right? Public services for special needs, for handicapped, for whatever. If you just need some local services, you've got security, that is the police. You've got spaces, that is like parks. You've got sanitation, that's your sewers. You've got streets. You got the street maintenance is in there with property taxes, and schools. Did I say schools already?
6, no?
Did I get them all?
Well, what are the 6 S's
Yeah.
for? I didn't hear that last
Property
part.
taxes.
Property taxes.
Yeah.
Property taxes. All right, here we go. Bam.
Site, yep. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. That's how they determine property tax. Go. What are the 6 S's that property tax money goes to for the city or for the state? Okay, follow up. How do you find what type of liens besides just opening title? Any way you can do that during your due diligence for free or on your own? Yeah, it depends on if the seller gets notified of it. If they have like a packet of information, but a lot of them don't. A lot of times you have to, they'll tell you, hey, listen, I owe a bunch of money on this stuff. I don't know if I can sell it. And that's where you want it.
Yeah,
Nailed it.
Look at this, guys. Look at the 6 S's. Schools, safety,
crushed it.
spaces, streets, sanitation, and services.
You look like Vanna White.
It's these new Jordan 40s. Boom. There you go.
Damn.
Let's go.
Feeling good.
There you go.
Pudding, your banana pudding today?
Pudding.
Pudding.
Pudding. Okay. So, yeah, the title company's going to let you know the liens. Title company's going to let you know the liens, and then you can start. And that's the best way because they should be able to get you contact information for them, and then you can start reaching out. But it is a strategy for some of the rhino tribes, for investors since day one. I mean, I've heard of this since 2002 of investors looking for properties that have these big liens, and you could do lien searches if they're public data. You know, if you're in a non-disclosure state, that's going to be tougher, but you can look for properties that have these big liens that really just take all of the potential equity out of that deal and put some of these properties upside down and negotiate those, and they'll settle. They'll say, what are they going to do? They're going to get nothing and just keep racking up fees on this thing, or they settle and get something now. And they know that. They build that in. And so it's a really phenomenal strategy. Rodolfo out in Florida does a phenomenal job. He has done some great deals.
You know who we're missing?
A while too.
Yeah.
You know who we're missing in the chat right now?
Oh,
Dimitri Van Camp.
where's Dimitri?
Well, where is he?
Must be on vacation.
What's going on?
Must be taking a little nap.
I think it's the first time
Yeah.
I
Well, I
see
guess
him
it's the
miss.
middle of the night there.
He's
But,
always up.
Maybe he's traveling. Do you recommend any title companies, or a title company is a title company? Alvin asks. Raph?
Yeah, it depends on where you're looking at. I mean, they all change. There's a couple of national title companies, but it just depends on where you're looking at. What you want to do is you want to find somebody who's investor friendly in whatever location the subject property is at if you're doing virtual stuff. Yeah, but it changes.
What are the national ones?
Chicago Title is one of them.
I've got one that's in most states. It's called closed title, and they'll be nationwide really soon. This is from my buddy Jared, and he knows the owner, and he does a lot of business with these guys apparently. And closed title works with investors, and they're really fluent in investor transactions. So I would check those out. It's in most states. And should be, I mean, it's pretty much the whole East Coast and Middle America. It's just some of the West Coast states, they're not there yet, but I'm sure they'll get there soon.
When you're interviewing title companies, just ask them. I mean, straight up, don't give them a lot of explanations. Just ask them if they work with investors. 99.9 are going to say yes, but then ask them about assignment agreements. Don't tell them, do you do any assignment agreements, because they're going to say yes. But ask them, how do you process the assignment agreements? If they ask you a question and say, what do you mean, or what do you mean assignment agreements or something like that, means that they're not working with investors on a regular basis, and you're going to have more of an issue. I mean, we've seen that happen quite a bit, where we have a series of questions where this is how we interview title companies. And when we're tapping into all these different areas and building up the power team, which is very important, there's a handful of things that you got to ask. So keep that in mind.
Send that to me,
Okay.
so we can put it in the tribe.
Jerry Lima, can you share the name of the gentleman who was on your show, the former wholesaler who became a lender? I recall he mentioned that he is now lends money, particularly for double closings. That is Pete Russell. Pete Russell, transactional funding. Let me see. He is at his website, if you want to put it in, Handra, is velocityadvantagecapital.com.
Got it.
velocityadvantagecapital.com. Really, really, really phenomenal resource for you guys. So definitely check that out, and Pete will help you to do what's called transactional funding. So he'll, again, once your buyer has the funds in, he'll fund your part of the transaction, which is phenomenal. So if you're in an area where you need to have a license to assign deals, or a state that you need a license to assign deals and you don't have a license, one, I suggest you do get a license, but two, until that time, you're going to have to do transactional funding. You're going to have to close on the deal. And then really watch and see if you can start marketing the deals before you own them. And I think that's going to be more and more. I think that's going to be the ultimate layer of some of these states to prevent assignments or wholesaling is you without a license.
I was going to say, yeah.
But South Carolina does it. If you have a license, you need to have a license to assign a contract. But if you have a license, you can't assign a contract. Pretty interesting.
Gotcha.
The technique that they have there. Because listen, there's something to it. There's something about marketing a property without a license that you don't own. People really don't like that.
Yeah, I mean,
People really don't like
it's
that.
a little iffy sometimes.
Right?
Just think about
now, listen, I understand. You're not marketing a property. You're marketing the ability to take over your place in a purchase agreement. But you're putting it out as, here's this awesome deal.
Yeah.
Here's the pictures. Here's the details. Here's what's going on with this property. Do you want to take over and I get it, you put the disclosure, I'm not marketing the property, I'm just marketing a contract for sale and that type of thing. But these guys aren't stupid. They're not silly.
No.
You know what I mean? They understand what you're doing. And so if you need a license in specific areas, you need to get a license. It's just worth it. 90 hours, you take a school test, and then you go and take the state test, and now you have a license. And now you're rocking and rolling. And now it opens more doors for you. Way more doors for you.
Yeah, it's simple. If you want serious results, get serious about it. I mean, it's everything is headed, in that direction. Just get in front of it. Just get a license for it.
Can you walk me through the process of how your title company helps investors successfully navigate various kinds of transactions, like contract assignments, novations, buying subject to terms?
Oh, I think that's probably just a question from the interview.
Good interview question for the title company that says
that works.
They're investor friendly.
Yep.
Awesome. Lenny asks, do you need a license in those particular states or just a license in any state? You need it in the specific states.
Yeah.
The license is state specific. Now, the interesting thing is when you get your real estate license, you have two tests. You have a state test and you have a national test. Now, once you have a license, you can just go and take and get the education. I think you still have to go through all the licensing that's state specific, but you only have to take the state test because you already passed the national one. So to get licensed in other markets, I believe you just have to take the state test. So there you go. All right, let me read another note that I put here.
Talk to him.
You ready? On the days that don't go well, practice blind faith.
Ooh.
What does that mean to you, Luke?
When days don't go well, I think.
On the days that don't go well, practice blind faith.
I think just still continuing on your journey and whatever it is, and knowing that the day is going to be behind you. It's only one day, and just keep going, because yesterday was probably better than today, and tomorrow's probably be better than today as well.
Raph?
I would agree 100%. I mean, it's blind faith is what gets us through the dark spots, man. This is not I mean, we take actions day by day, right? But when we were talking about vision, we were talking about goals and the place that we want to, end up at, or the ideal life that we're all looking for. It's not a one-day thing, right? So why would you let one day or an hour or a portion of that day just get in the way of that bigger picture and steer you away from it? So blind faith is really what gets you through the mud.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't accomplished something, you're working off of faith.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're working off of faith that you can do this.
Yeah.
Now, it might not, it starts off with just doing your first deal, crossing that bridge from faith to fact, right? But it could be your first $1 million. It could be building a $10 million company. It could be owning 100 doors. It could be doing a syndication that goes and buys thousands of doors in an apartment complex or several apartment complexes, right? But if you haven't done it, you have to work off faith, right?
Yeah.
And strengthening that with action, strengthening it with actually providing value to the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we do that in real estate? We have conversations and we make offers. We have conversations, we make offers. And I don't care if your conversations are raising funds. I don't care if your conversations are with property owners. I don't care if your conversations are with hard money lenders or if they're with real estate agents or whatever it is.
Yep.
We got to be in action every single day. Next is work on the habits of a top producer. Number 1, lead generation. Number 2, lead follow-up. Number 3, commitment to pre-qualifying every single person you talk to 100% of the time. Number 4, committing to a strong presentation. People have it, well, here's your offer. I'm going to just do it over the phone. I'm going to send it in your email, all this stuff. The presentation is the most important part because the presentation is your discovery. It's part of pre-qualifying, but you're really in the presentation. It is going, hey, listen, this is what you said your goal with this property is. Here's how I can help. Here's a great real estate agent that I can refer you to. Or here's an offer for your property. Or heaven forbid, maybe you should just stay put. Maybe you shouldn't move. Maybe you shouldn't sell this property. Maybe it's not the right time based on X, Y, and Z of what you have told me, right? You gotta find out what is their goal. What is the goal that you have with this property? You can't just throw cash offers at people or creative offers at people and then try to trick them into taking it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So that's top producers. Figure out your lead generation. And Matt, will you put my screen up?
Isn't it
real
crazy how long it's taken for the stigma to break on okay, we're gonna convince people. I mean, think about like 2013, 14, when we were out there and pounding, the streets and everything. That's what you saw left and right. A lot of people, were doing that kind of stuff, and that's how the whole, I feel like the whole industry got tarnished, right? So to switch that stigma, I mean, it's taken a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think we're making a dent in it though.
100%. So lead generation here, guys, there's really 4 steps here. There's probably more, but I'm just kind of keeping it basic. But the first step for marketing budget is 0 to 2,000. You're in hustle season. You are on the phones all day long. You are pounding the phones. You are trying to reach the real estate agents that have properties that are listed or get referrals from real estate agents. You're talking to property owners. You're doing all sorts of things. You're networking. You're reaching out to people on Facebook groups. You're connecting. You're posting every single day that you buy houses on your stories on
Please
Instagram
do
and
that.
Facebook. You get 5,000 Facebook friends. You're doing everything that you can to get as loud as possible, take as much action as possible between 0 and 2,000. 2,000, 5,000, you're starting to get some inbound leads, baby.
Come on.
Starting to do some direct mail. You're starting to do some Facebook. You're starting to do some PPL, pay per leads. And then you get into that 5, 10,000. Now you're getting into the big boy territory, right? Big boy, big girl territory where you are looking at some SEO. You're looking at some PPC. You're looking at increasing if direct mail is working really well in your area. Maybe you could do some radio ads. Maybe you can do some TV ads locally. Maybe you could do those things. And then at 10K plus, usually what happens is, and it's market specific, but usually one marketing channel bubbles to the top. It bubbles to the top and it goes, oh, this is awesome. This is a great marketing channel that really works for me. I've got my systems in place. I really know how to handle these leads, and I do a good job of communicating and converting them. So that is, when you're looking at being a top producer, those are the stages that you take. And I'm telling you, if you do it right, there's not a better investment than you make than marketing. You can ask any business.
It's the fuel.
What is the
bloodline.
best money that you spend? It is always marketing.
It's the
Marketing,
lifeblood.
marketing, marketing, marketing. It really is. That's anything. Will you pull up, how much does Coca-Cola spend in marketing a year?
Oh,
What do you think it is, Raf? What do you guys think it is in the chat? How much does Coca-Cola spend in a year in marketing?
Let's find out.
What do you think, Raf?
5 billion?
5 billion?
I don't know.
That's
I'm throwing
insane.
I'm throwing a number out
Andra?
there. You know how much they make though.
probably like 1 billion, yeah.
He was right there.
$5 million. Come on. Raf's cheating, bro.
I swear to
Cheater.
God, I didn't know. Yeah.
Coca-Cola
definitely gonna say
reported
Nailed it.
worldwide advertising expense of approximately $5 billion, which marked
Did
an
they win?
all-time
Did
high
they win?
of 16% increase over 2022 ad revenue. Why would they do that?
Wow.
Why would they do that if they're not getting a return?
Yeah.
Why would they not do it if they 150 billion, a million, a little bit higher, Carlos, 800 billion from John. Yeah, $5 billion. Guys, this is what business is all about. Unless you want to build a referral-based business and make $400,000 or $500,000 a year for the end of time, which you can do after about 5 to 7 years of being in real estate, just complete referrals, you got to spend money in marketing. It is the best return that you're going to get. And here's the question. When asked, what is your marketing budget? The answer should be, I don't have a marketing budget. Because if I put $1 in and if I can get $4 out,
$4 out.
until that breaks, it should be unlimited amount that you put into it. Would you guys agree?
100%.
Oh, beautiful question, Derek. What percentage of operating expenses should be used for marketing? 20 to 25%.
Yeah.
20 to 25%. Or unlimited.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Unlimited. Derek, think about it. Think about that. Think about if you put a job, and this is the issue we run into, and something that you have to really keep an eye on. What's your cash conversion cycle?
Yeah.
How fast do you get that money out when it comes to the, you put your money in for marketing, when do you get the return? I got it right here. Cold calling, 120 days. Direct mail, 105 days. Facebook, 30 days.
Better.
I'm sorry, Facebook, 60 days. PPL, 90 days. Pay-per-click, 28 days. That's what it is. I mean, those are the stats. Those are the stats that you're looking at. So it's like, oh, I'm going to put my money in right now, but it depends on where you're putting your money and how fast you're getting it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're taking it serious when you do put your money in, I'll tell you this right now. The faster the cash conversion cycle, the faster, the more high quality leads you're going to get. Okay? That means they have to be treated like absolute diamonds, platinum, rubies, pearls, all those things, right? They have to be treated like unbelievable. You need to have your best people on those leads possible.
Yep.
If you send it to a VA and you're spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for these leads, and you're sending it to a VA, what are you doing? You're not taking this business serious. You're not a serious person.
Yeah.
You're a lazy person. You need to have the best leads go to the best people. It should be you initially until you can replace yourself with somebody that's better.
Amen.
Okay? Nice.
One thing I do on every campaign, every new campaign that we roll out, I always catch the first sequence of leads to test.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you have to get a feel for the individual campaigns. I think it's not micromanaging or over controlling. I think it's just awareness of how well the leads are, because you can have a great campaign, and then have a mid-quality closer that's gonna make that campaign look bad, right? So even if you have a staff, just be tapped into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would look. So, guys, just so that I'll write it down here, just so that you guys can all see it. But from a profitability standpoint, once you get at volume, 25% typically is going to go to marketing. And obviously, this can adjust based on how much you're making. 25% is your staff. Okay? 10% is just operations. And then that'll leave you about a 40% net to you. And this is running where you're not really involved in the business anymore. You can be, which will reduce this number right here. Okay, that'll reduce that. And then it'll just drop down to more profitability if you're doing a lot of the work in there. But you're shooting about 25% of your marketing budget, of your income goes to the marketing budget. You just need to understand the sales cycle. You have to understand the cash conversion cycle. So somebody asked, Seth is like, hey, are you a frickin' Cardinals fan? Arizona Cardinals fan?
No.
Yeah, right?
No.
I mean, I don't know. I actually prefer college football over NFL, but I like watching the NFL highlights. And I'm kind of agnostic, to be honest, Seth. I like watching the YouTube breakdown of games after, like on Sunday evenings, because they're like 10, 12 minutes of just the highlights, because commercials drive me crazy.
So you don't have an NFL team?
My dad's from Chicago.
Yeah.
So he's a big Bears fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Alejandro's a giant Vikings fan.
Minnesota.
I don't know. I mean, I enjoy the Cardinals, but the Cardinals came here in, 92 or something? I was like 11 or 12. So it wasn't like I grew up with them, like as a young kid.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Suns fan. That's more of, I feel like the local, like Arizona.
Born in great
Yeah.
or just like Suns fans.
And
That's the local sport here. It
what
is
are your
basketball.
guys'
Definitely
teams?
basketball.
Put it in there. Who do you guys like?
I used
Give
to like the Packers a
Rafael's
lot.
the Messi team.
Now I'm an Eagles fan. Go
Eagles,
Birds.
that's right.
Go Birds.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, come on, Alejandro.
Hey, it's first NFL game tomorrow.
I saw the new uni, Seth. The Dust Storm. Have you seen that?
What?
The rival uniforms for the Cardinals.
I haven't seen
It's gonna
those.
be pretty sick. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Brent, I love your kids' rock art. Yeah, that's my. What is it? Dad, you rock. Get a. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
got that for Father's Day this year.
Shout out.
When was Father's Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta lock that in. We gotta lock that.
I think Mother's Day is more important, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Father's
Yeah,
Day.
nobody does. So you guys recommend to wholesale with a team or a partner and not by yourselves? Is that highly recommended? Yeah, Alvin, listen. I feel like you should do it yourself. I feel like you should have somebody in your local marketplace that is doing more than you, that you can bounce ideas off of, or have them audit the leads that you're going through so that you can make solid offers. But I don't think that you need a partner. I don't think you certainly don't need VAs and all this other stuff, right? I feel like it's been romanticized to be like, you don't have to go through hustle season. Just get the VAs to do that. You're too
load of
good. You're
crap.
too smart. It's 2025.
How you gonna coach?
AI and overseas talent and all this other stuff that costs nothing. I just don't see it ever working. I don't. If you don't
Yeah.
build the skills of understanding this business, if you don't go through the hustle season, I just don't think you're going to last. I think that you're going to eventually just find some new other shiny object and chase that. So I think it's kind of the filter for the people that make it and the people that don't, is having, talking to at least 1,000 strangers and making offers. Talking to 1,000 strangers about real estate and seeing if they would consider an offer, that's your rite of passage.
Yeah.
In my opinion. This is just my opinion. There's plenty of way more talented people that you can listen to. That's just been my experience, is you got to talk to 1,000 people before you hire anybody. And when you do that, you're going to be a lot more confident. Okay? Giants. We got some Giants fans.
Okay.
Got some Cowboys fans. All right, we got some Packers fans.
Oh my gosh, ew.
Yep. Alejandro's mad at whoever that was.
Alejandro will beat you up.
Patriots. Jerry, Patriots. Yeah. Yeah, my sister lives and brother-in-law lives in Massachusetts, and it is, I'll tell you what,
Big
man.
baddies.
That is the state to live in if you love sports.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you remember the year when the Celtics won it all, and the Patriots won it all, and the Red Sox won it all, and I
Yeah.
think their hockey team
That-
won it all? It's like, what is happening? This never happened in the history of Phoenix. We went to the NBA Finals in 2021, and we were like, yeah, we're the greatest sports city ever. Not even close.
It got crazy.
Alvin, yes, that's
Downtown
exactly
got
what
crazy.
I'm doing. I'm doing it by myself, but my aunt is a licensed real estate agent, so I go to her for advice and help on offers. Awesome. That
That's
is
great.
awesome. Paris says, do you guys suggest cold calling probate leads you get from courthouse website? That's the best website.
Yep.
Public data is the best website. And so you match that up with the right contact information, and you can speak to the family and see what their plans are. Yeah, for sure. Awesome. I think that's it, guys. Went
Nice.
90 minutes.
Great show.
Great
Yeah.
show. Guys, thanks for
Questions were on
participating
fire.
today. Yeah, I really like the more question and answer based.
Yeah, Philly.
Makes it
Really-
go.
Yeah.
Go.
Really
Right?
good questions today.
Shout
So-
out Philly One on Instagram.
We got what?
This no
Eagles?
Yeah,
Yeah, Eagles fan? That's awesome.
let's go.
Well, bring it in, guys. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're getting value, make sure that you subscribe. Check us out on Instagram. Check out Rafael Cortez, CEO. You'll find him. And anything that you guys need, if you guys need some download, some training, ttpinsider.com.
Yep.
That is complimentary. You go into the Circle app, which is fantastic, and it just downloads all the stuff. And it's really, really, really great. Thank you, Seth, for the support. Thank you guys all for the support. A lot of really, really, really positive feedback today. So we
Yeah.
really appreciate it. We do this every Wednesday, and love you guys. We want you to be successful. We want you to be protected. We want you to make sure that you're building long-lasting businesses that you can be proud of. And remember, success is a good night's sleep. And so make sure that you're doing all the right stuff out there. So bring it in, guys. Matt, on behalf of Luke and Alejandra and Rafael and Matt, we love you guys. Thank you for participating. Go out there and finish the week strong. Let's make September the absolute best month that you've ever had. And remember, keep your house clean, protect your health, increase your value to the world. You'll live a fantastic life. We love you. We'll see you next week.